everybody, this is Sophia, your masterclass teacher, and welcome to your April masterclass. Today we're going to focus on a code in the Woman Code that's one of my favorites. It's apologize quickly. So if you have your books, please get them out. We're going to go through that. And I want to tell you a little bit about what inspired me to focus on this code, apologize quickly. I think it's one of the most powerful things that we can ever learn in our lives. I think that the ability to admit when we're wrong, the ability to be peacekeepers and peacemakers is among the most important virtues of the Woman Code, of any code that you can ever have. But I'll tell you what inspired me for this month's masterclass. This month's masterclass was inspired by a letter that I read. It actually was an obituary by a young woman of 35 years of age who was in Canada and was sick with cancer. She found out that she had cancer when she was about 32, 33 years old. She had never been married, no children, beautiful young woman. And she found out that she was sick with cancer that wasn't curable. Luckily for her, she had a good mom and dad, she had great friends, and she even had a great boyfriend who loved her and who supported her. And she made a decision that she didn't want to spend the last years or months of her life that she had left trying to get well on chemo or radiation or whatever. So she made a decision not to take any treatment. And what she did instead was she lived. And she really focused on travel, spending time with her family, writing, doing all the things that she knew she was never going to get to do. And you know what? She outlived the prognosis of the doctors who only gave her months, and she actually lived for 2 years. But what she did, much to the surprise of family and friends, was she wrote an obituary. And in that obituary, she talked about life. And the title of the obituary was, "Damn, Life Was Good!" Exclamation point. And I want to pause there for a moment because many of us don't ever think about our life and our death like that. We just don't, because most of us will go through life and if we're blessed, have many years, and we'll not have to think about that in the immediate, particularly not when we're still a young person. But what I love about what this young lady did was she wrote her own story, and she had it published after she passed. Her parents didn't know, her boyfriend didn't know. No one knew until they read it. Well, this obituary of this young lady went viral, and it caught the attention of the one and only Oprah, which is how I saw it because Oprah was tweeting about it the other morning. I read it, I posted about it. It's on my Instagram and my Twitter feed, and I changed it to say, "Damn, life is good." Now, I want to pause there because you're wondering, well, Sophia, what does that have to do with apologizing quickly? Well, I'll tell you what it has to do with it. You know, in the Woman Code, I put this code of apologizing quickly in the book for a reason, because I had an experience with someone that I recount in the book who actually gave me a book by the doctor who wrote, Gary Chapman, who wrote The 5 Love Languages. Many of you know about The 5 Love Languages, one of the best books ever written. Well, he also wrote The 5 Languages of Apology. I highly recommend you pick up the book. I talk about it here in the Woman Code. And I bring it up in this context to tell you this. An apology is like the super glue of life. So many times we waste years. We waste precious years, time, days, weeks, months, not having the courage to say, "I got it wrong." And in not doing so, what we rob ourselves of is the ability to make peace with people that we love, or to heal even ourselves. Sometimes you and I will have to accept an apology that we never got. And that means we're going to have to learn to live with it and be okay with it. But where it's in our power to make a difference, where it's in our power to make a change, where it's in our power to apologize, we should. And I want to go through this a little bit because as I thought about the young woman and I thought about the amazing life that she lived, and I thought about all that she did before she died to live her life, and to, in her death, write a letter from the grave saying, hey, life is going to give you unfair things. Life is going to disappoint you. You're going to have curveballs. But at the end of the day, even for the short time she was here, she was able to say, "Damn, life was good." And I want you and I to be able to say that too when our time comes. And one of the things that we will always regret when we're old, if we're blessed to be old, or when we get to our twilight years, we will regret the relationships that we didn't try to save. We will regret the words that we didn't say. We will regret the peace that we didn't make when it was in our power to do so. We will regret not apologizing when we were wrong. You know, pride is an ugly thing. Pride results in nothing good. Jealousy, envy, anger, strife. Where there is pride, there will be humiliation, there will be destruction, there will be deviation from the path God has you on. So check your pride. I am talking to you today about the power of apology, and that when you are wrong, you need to say it quickly. And I've learned to get a lot better with this. I wasn't always good with this because none of us are. None of us likes to be wrong, and none of us likes to say, I'm sorry. And that makes us stupid, because at the end of the day, it's a good thing to own your faults. It's a good thing to make amends. It's a good thing to ask for forgiveness. It's a good thing to be humble. It's a good thing to get rid of your pride. So let's dig into this, shall we? I'm going to put my glasses on because you guys know I can't see without my glasses. So we're going to dig into the power of apology. Open up your Woman Code books. Get out your pens, your pads, your journals, or your iPad, whatever it is that you use in these classes. And you can find it under section number 3 of the book, which is the spiritual codes, and it is on page 131, and it is code number 10. Let's go to page 131. And as I always like to do with you, I like to dig in. I know the last couple life classes, what I've tried to focus on with you is really some inspiration. You know, the winter months are always tough. Some people suffer from seasonal depression. We're hibernating, particularly if you live back east or in the southeast part of the United States or the Midwest. It's hard on you. The weather's hard. And as we get into spring, last month I talked to you about, March coming into April. And then, of course, my short message at the beginning of the month of April was about springing into that new thing God has for you, springing forward as we do with our clocks. And as we round out the month of April and we go into May, which is a big month of shifting, it's graduation, it's commencement, it's Mother's Day. May is a big month of spring. The April showers bring May flowers. Everything's in full bloom. We're all getting excited for Memorial Day and summer. And I am doing my best in these master classes. And please, we want to hear from you. Give me feedback. You have the email. I read them every week. Tell us what you want more of. Tell us what you're struggling with. Tell us what you need out of this code. What do you need me to unpack? I know that you guys are loving these because more and more people are signing up. Please, if you sign up through your friends, I'm going to give you a year of Club Woman Code for free. That's right, for free. So please share this. It's economical. You can do it for $15 a month, or if you buy it all at once, you get a discount. So share information. One of the things that smart women do, one of the things that women that live by a code do, is that we share information with other women to help women who are struggling with work-life balance, to help women that are struggling with depression, to help women that are struggling with pride or addiction or anger or frustration or weight challenges. Whatever it is, there's a sisterhood. And one of the ways that we help each other in the tribe, in the sisterhood of women, is to share information. You know, there are more and more articles coming out every week, it seems, in major magazines and publications about the power of being with your girls, the power of girls' trips, the power of girls' night out, the power of girls' weekend. It's good for the soul, the laughter, the joy, the sharing, the tears. So make sure that you're connected. Start your own connect group. Start your own Club Woman Code group. Let me know about it, and I'll Skype in and talk with you. We'll do a book club together. Look, you're only going to get one life. And you got to do it well. You got to live. As that young woman said, 35 years old is too young to die. And 35 years old is a life cut too short. None of us wants that for our kids, our nieces, our nephews, our loved ones. And this young woman's no longer with us. But I want you to look up, just Google 35-year-old woman pens obituary in Canada. And you're going to find it. It's also pinned to my Instagram page as well as my Twitter page. But I want you to take a minute, because it really fits into why I'm talking about the power of apology today. So let's dig into this. Of course, the opening quote that we have here in this chapter, in this code number 10, apologize quickly, is, an apology is the super glue of light. It can repair just about anything. I already opened with that. And it's true. What I've learned is sometimes even when I'm not wrong, if I say, I'm sorry, I misunderstood, or I'm sorry, can you forgive me? Or I'm sorry, I didn't understand, can you help me? It just changes the energy in the room. So get into the habit, and I'm not telling you, please don't mishear me. I'm not telling you not to honor yourself. I'm not telling you not to take care of you and let people walk all over you. That violates code number 2, which is you teach people how to treat you. But I really want you to get into the habit of when you're wrong, owning it quickly. Because the quicker you can own it, the quicker you can confess it, the quicker you can ask for forgiveness, the quicker you're going to heal, you're going to build, and you're going to repair your relationships, and you're going to strengthen them, because people will trust you, and they'll trust you because they know that you're humble. They'll trust you because they know that you're sober-minded, and they'll trust you because they know that you're not afraid to say, hey, I got it wrong. So let's unpack this. We're 10 minutes in. I don't like these to be longer than 15 minutes tops, because I really want you to be able to unpack them, to not feel like you're sitting somewhere for 30 minutes. Some are shorter, some are longer. This class is one worth dealing with. So, you know, one of my favorite movies, Love Story. We all know, if you remember the great movie with Ryan O'Neal, Love Story, and what is the Ally McGraw. If you have never watched it, you gotta watch it. It's a great weekend movie with your sweetheart, or with your kids, or with the girls' night with the wine, or girls' mimosas, brunch, whatever you're doing. Watch Love Story. But of course, the most famous line is, love is never having to say you're sorry. Love is never having to say you're sorry. Well, I disagree. Love is absolutely being willing to say you're sorry. Love is the absolute epitome. The demonstration of love is when I can say, honey, I didn't do it right. Kids, mom failed you. Mom and dad, I didn't look after you the way I should have. Whatever it is, when we fall short, when we can own it, we're building love. We're growing love. We're watering love with love. So let's look at this, and let's just get down to page 135. 134, 135. And what I like to do with you is, of course, go back to the code. And in this code, there are 3 things that I wanted you to take away. What an apology is. What does it look like? 2, why apologizing matters. And 3, how to offer an apology and regain trust after you've offended someone. Now, again, how many marriages failed because somebody couldn't own their part? How many friendships failed because somebody couldn't say sorry? How many brothers and sisters, siblings, aren't speaking and haven't spoken for years? I know some. Family members, I have them in my family. There are people in my family I don't talk to. And it's probably because I keep waiting for an apology I'm never going to get. And there are even times when I've tried to overlook it and still try to have a relationship. But the problem is, when people can't own their faults, when people can't own what they've done wrong, you are denying yourself, and that person is denying themselves a true relationship. Because as I state in this code, without trust, you have no relationship with anyone. Not at your job, not in your marriage, not with your kids, not anywhere. So please, really understand that there is power, there is life-changing, healing, glue-sticking power in saying, I'm sorry. And let's talk about that and what that looks like. So what is an apology? If you read here through this code, I break down a little bit of what I call the 10 elements of an apology. And these are worth writing down, because sometimes we simply don't know how to say, I got it wrong, or how do I begin to repair this? Well, they have elements. Every apology has 10 elements: humility, compassion, respect, connection. Am I looking at you? Don't send it in a text. Pick up the phone, go out for coffee, go to dinner, talk. Contrition. Am I heartbroken that I hurt you? Am I truly sorry? A heart seeking peace. I want to make this right. I don't just want to tell you that I'm sorry and then go do the same thing again. I really want to make this right. I own my actions. You didn't make me do it. The devil didn't make me do it. Nobody made me do it. I did it. Passion. I love you. You mean something to me. You matter. This is important to me. We're important to me. This project's important to me. This job is important to me. This friendship is important to me. The willingness to change. I'm going to do the work on me. I have a drinking problem. I have an anger problem. I have self-esteem problem. I have a problem. It's my problem. It's not your problem. You are not to fix me. I'm the one that's broken. I'd love your help. I'd love your input, but it's not on you. And then the last one is a purpose or end result. The bottom line about an apology is it has to be authentic, and you have to be willing to do the work, because apologizing and saying you're sorry is just the first step. And if you go through to page 137, I'm going to give you the 5 elements that Dr. Gary Chapman gives. And of course, I go in a lot more in depth, but I want you to work through these chapters. The masterclass is to bring up the issue, to talk to you about it, and to illuminate what you've already read or what you're in the process of reading. How to offer an apology and regain trust after an offense. Go to page 137 and write these down. The first thing you have to do when you say I'm sorry, what does it look like? Is express regret. I am sorry. You got to say the words. You can't dance around it. You got to say, I am sorry. Number 2, you got to make restitution. I got to make you whole if I've injured you. I have to make it right. What can I do to fix this? What can I do to make this right? How can I rebuild with you? Number 3, accepting responsibility. Again, I did this. It's on me. Don't point the finger and tell them what they have to do or what they owe you. They got to figure that out. You do your part. Let the chips fall where they may. Number 4, I repent. Repentance means I'm going to turn. I'm going to change. I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to hurt you again. I've hurt you. I'm going to stop hurting you. I'm going to do the work to make sure this never happens again. And finally, number 5, I've got to request forgiveness. Now, there's a great checklist on page 138. There's 7 points that I really give you the mechanics of how to do this and what matters. The most important thing about an apology is that you want the person that you love, that you care about, that you're in business with to know that you're genuinely sorry, and you want to restore the relationship, or you want to rebuild trust. You're validating. I cannot say enough how important it is to validate someone that you've injured and not pass the buck, not punk out, not disrespect, not say, well, if you hadn't have done this, no. Own your part. Validate. You have every right to be hurt. I violated the trust of our friendship. I violated the trust of this marriage. I wasn't there for you when you needed me. I was being selfish. Whatever it is, own it. Let me tell you what, there is life-changing, liberating power in your life when you say I'm sorry. Again, don't get stuck on what they didn't do. Don't get stuck on the apology they owe you. Don't get stuck on what they have done. Deal with what you have done. You be the bigger man. You be the bigger woman. You be the bigger parent. You be the bigger spouse. You be the bigger sibling. You be the light. And God will show up and bless this relationship, right? Or he won't. It will either be restored or it won't. Now, let me tell you this as we end. The power of an apology is it has the ability to bring people back together, has the ability to heal, but also has the ability to change and transform. If you have apologized in the steps that I've outlined here briefly and the ones that Gary Chapman does in his book, The 5 Languages of Apology, if that person tells you, I don't forgive you, I don't want anything to do with you, I'm not going to get over it, your work is done. Hear me in this. Your part is done. You can't make somebody love you. You can't make somebody forgive you. You can't make somebody want to be friends with you again, stay married to you, or anything else. That has to come from them, and they have to do the work. But the power of apology, the importance of apologizing quickly, is that when we let things fester, they grow. The more time that I take to tell you I did you wrong, the more time I take to say, honey, forgive me, it keeps building and building, and then each other little sin that I've done and done against you, you're now tracking it. And then one day there's this massive eruption 2 years down the road, and I don't even know that you've been mad about these things. I knew I should have apologized for that first thing, but I didn't, and I just thought you'd get over it. And then I found out it festered, and then it got worse and worse. It grew, and then it turned into a cancer that we can't cure. Our relationship is destroyed. Our friendship is over. We have gone too far. So please apologize quickly. It is the super glue of life. It makes you a better person. It makes you a stronger person. It makes you a better leader on your team. All of us makes mistakes. All of us are human. All of us is flawed. I don't know what's going on in this world we live in now where we're into this lying thing about being perfect and, well, it's not me, it's you, and we just cut people off like we don't need grace, and we just cut people off like we don't need forgiveness, and we just take people out for a walk around the shed, and we train wreck them, not realizing that that's not merciful, that's not godlike, it's certainly not Christian, it's not of any faith anywhere on how you treat people, and it just won't help you to be a better person. So apologize quickly. It will bless your life, it will change your life, and it will strengthen the relationships you have. Try it. Don't believe me. Try it. Take it out for a spin. The next time you make a mistake, instead of everybody in your family expecting you to just never own it, or to actually yell at them about it, or to not do what's right, say, I'm sorry. I got that wrong. And then do the work of changing. If you keep doing something over and over again and you keep having to apologize, nobody's going to listen, because that's not an apology. That's excusing yourself. That's just doing what you think you got to do to keep people in your life. And if you keep not apologizing when you're wrong, and if you don't know how to do it quickly, and you don't know how to do it efficiently and compassionately and restoratively, you will find yourself by yourself forever. So that's my masterclass today. Apologize quickly. Code number 10 in the woman code. Please, we want to hear from you. What do you want more of? What do you want to unpack in the woman code? What questions do you have? I will write you back personally. Get your friends. Get your connect group set up. Get your book club set up. This is good stuff. I'm excited. You know, there's a lot of good stuff coming. When I can catch my breath. I'm just overwhelmed with TV and all my responsibilities right now. I'm not complaining, but we're working on making Club Woman Code a more interactive, more engaged experience, because we want to actually have the ability to have chats with our members, to get real-time feedback from you, to do events in cities. We're working on all that, but there's only one Sophia. So pray for me and gird me up as I do all of you. And thank you again for joining. God bless you and keep you. Let's go and let's tackle May, and let's be excited about spring is here and we're headed into summer, and I'll be back with the May Minute probably in about 10 days, and then of course you'll get your May Masterclass, and we're going to try to get you an ebook this month too on a couple things that I've been working on that I think you'll enjoy. It's 22 minutes in, much longer than I wanted this to go, but that's okay. I hope you guys had a great Easter. Looking forward to summer. And we'll see you again in a few days. Bye-bye now.